And welcome back. I'm your host, Rowan Cook. I make coffee on the internet.
And I'm Ben Bicknell. I judge people who make coffee, but only at competitions.
And together we are It's Just Coffee, the podcast for people who know it's never just coffee. Now, Benny boy, where are we?
We are sitting here in Dubai. This is World of Coffee in Dubai. And yeah, we've got a whole range of great guests on the pod.
Absolutely, mate. We've only been here a couple of days, but we've met some of the best people. We've tasted some of the best coffees. And we have a very special guest with us here today.
We do indeed. Joining us is Fred Bejo from Archer's Coffee, Benchmark Coffee, founder, owner.
Welcome to the show, Fred.
Woo!
Thank you for having me, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
It's super exciting to be here.
Yeah.
And I know you've got a lot on. Archers is like everywhere around the show. So it's great to,
Absolutely, and everyone was telling us to chat with you. Now, it feels like you're very influential here in Dubai. And so I've got to start off the questions. The start of the year, I kind of want to know, do you have any predictions for 2026 for the coffee industry?
Yes, I think my prediction is that I'm going towards coffee processing and that direction. Okay, like I'm predicting that a lot of coffee processing and coffee drying will be more controlled nowadays. I guess because of producers are more educated and it's very open now to learn from one another, and producing countries are actually pushing to learn more and more. And so I guess for the processing part, for the past years in Panama, I've seen coffees are more controlled by doing fermentation, like cold fermentation. But then this last year is a lot of people also doing cold drying as well, right? We always don't need actually a sun to dry coffee, but we need airflow and dry environment.
Yeah.
And then when we do that, actually coffee flavors and the quality is actually better. And so I guess that's the sort of a trend. Cold fermentation, cold drying is a trend that will be there for a long time. It will not die like the past trends that it happens to the coffee industry.
Today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at Marco Beverage Systems.
And they are our friends. Anyone that sponsored this show is definitely our friends. You know who else is our friend? The barista, the humble barista, and they get absolutely slammed every day in the cafe.
It's true. They do. They get hammered. And you know what? Like, we've just accepted that standing there steaming jug after jug after jug of milk is just kind of part of the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Marco is trying to remove some of that daily slog from the cafe for baristas.
They are. They have designed the Milk Pal.
The Milk Pal!
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. At the push of a button, you can get hot milk, hot foam, cold foam.
Oh, that's sick. So you can just pour it straight out, latte art straight from the machine.
Yeah, you choose the exact texture you want and the volume you need, and away you go.
Oh, that's perfect. It also does it, though, with alternative milk and dairy, whatever you're using. And the best part is, as you said, no waste. You're not tipping milk down the drain and just wasting money.
Never a good thing.
And it gives baristas the time to do the things that they actually want to do, not just stuck behind a steam wand.
So if it sounds like a good fit for your business, go check out marcobeveragesystems.com, learn a little bit more about it, maybe find your new Milk Pal.
Milk Pal, it's your Milky Pal. Everybody needs a little Milk Pal. Did they want the
I don't think they wanted that last
the jingle?
bit.
No.
Bonus. Before we get into today's episode, a quick little note from us here at the podcast studio. I'm feeling pretty lucky at the moment because we've had an incredible opportunity at It's Just Coffee just to talk with great guests about some of the most important conversations in coffee at the moment.
And yes, this is one of those little ads where we ask you to subscribe, but don't ignore it like the other podcasts that you listen to. I want you to open your phone right now and I want you to honk that subscribe button because every subscribe helps and we're trying to make the best coffee podcast in the world for you.
Yeah, thanks so much for all of your support, and let's get on to today's episode.
And so, yeah, I'm predicting that that's the trend or the prediction that I understand this year will happen. And then, of course, the next few years to come.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Controlled fermentation and controlled drying. Yeah.
And by that, with controlled fermentation and controlled drying, do you think there's going to be a bit more, not subtlety to it, but I feel like when we brought in all these new methods of fermentation and that things were getting
Super boozy.
very bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the good thing about cold fermentation and cold drying because I remember like what 7, 8 years ago we do a lot of anaerobic fermentation, carbonic maceration, and then I think the challenge with that it is very successful in those years, but the challenge with that is if you don't actually control the fermentation, then you go towards the boozy, one-dimensional character of a coffee.
Yep.
And so the cold drying helps on that way because we are controlling the bacteria not to grow a lot because it's cold, and then on the drying phase as well. So the reaction of the flavors or volatile aromatics is instead of getting that overripe, let's say mango or overripe peach, you get fresher notes because of that controlled fermentation.
Yeah.
And then cold drying makes the coffee sweeter, but then also it maintains the density of the coffee. So it's just going to the cleaner direction if you do those things. Yeah.
Speaking of making delicious coffees, if you want to know how bougie we are here, we just made a call as we started the pod and we're like, we got to get some good coffees in. Fred jumped on the phone. He got his team. He said, can you deliver us some coffees? We've just had a knock at the door. We've got Liam. Liam, come on in. Don't worry about these guys. Just
wow.
come
We have
straight in.
coffee.
Yeah.
We're getting coffee
Wow.
delivered to us
Come
live
on.
on set.
Over here.
Wow.
Not being
Fully
polite, just
served
come on in.
Yeah.
Throw it down.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Thanks, man.
Do we have
Thank
any
you
idea
so
what we're
much.
drinking here? Or
We will see. We need to taste it.
Liam with the mostest. Cheers. Oh,
Definitely a geisha.
yeah, definitely we've got a geisha.
It's just very jasmine-y and,
yeah.
Panama
Yeah.
geisha for sure.
Yeah. Super elegant.
Yeah.
Just like that mouthfeel, super silky as well.
Yeah, silky, yeah.
So washed,
I believe this is a wash or
like honey.
anaerobic wash finish, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it's very, the terroir is there. It's
Yeah.
very obvious.
It's very elegant.
very geisha-like.
Yeah. I love kind of what you're talking about there with the processing. I guess a lot of it comes into that consistency and risk management as well, as that you're not kind of getting anything crazy out of control ferments, and you're going to get a lot more of the value that you want in the cup. So yeah.
I think the challenge on doing those fermentation controlled, it is more expensive because then you need a facility actually to do it.
Yep.
And then traveling to a lot of producing country, I realized like especially Ethiopia, I'm just there last week, right? Like I'm seeing like we don't have electricity to do it, and we need to use what is just the available material on what we have there. But still, even if just because I was there, and then there's a lot of coffees on the raised beds that they put a shade on, but it's not enough to actually do the cold drying because the sunlight is still hitting the raised beds, even with a shade. And so I'm thinking of buying like this foam isolator with aluminum with foam isolator just to put a roof on the shade, not to make it expensive. Because I don't want to tell them let's build a house to make a darkroom drying. I don't want to tell them. I wanted to make it as simple as possible, less cost, and to produce more so that everyone will enjoy it and it will not be too expensive too, right?
Yes.
But then in reality, it will still be more expensive because you need time to do it. Time is longer because you're controlling it and colder. So yeah.
So when you're doing some of these experiments, you're going to producing countries and you're obviously kind of going, hey, let's try this out.
Yeah.
Are you investing in or committing to the coffees that are kind of coming out of that? Because obviously it takes a lot of cost, right, for them to do.
Yeah, it's if we do that, it's gold is good as sold.
Yeah.
I cannot allow them to do anything without committing.
You say it doesn't matter. We're buying this coffee.
Yeah. Like last year, so this cold fermentation that what we are doing in Ethiopia is inspired by the Panama producers. Mount Tutumas has first won the cold fermentation last 2023, Best of Panama #1.
Yep.
And I visited them and visited their farm, and I've seen what they're doing. It's pretty simple, actually, what they do. And then last 2023 buying season, 2024 buying season, we're buying from 30 producers in Panama, around 160 different lots of coffee.
Yep.
And that's a very big collection of Panama geishas, right? And I noticed based on my trip, cupping all the coffees, producers to one another, the most favorite coffees that I like on the table that has this quality of florality, the fruits is not covering up the terroir is cold ferments. You go to Altieri, they have that river flow fermentation. You go to Monte Tomas or Hacienda Esmeralda, they do cold fermentation. And so a lot of coffees are really good last year because of that process.
Yeah.
And they also understand better drying. So coffees are getting better last year. And I think this is one of the reason why, not only the reason, but one of the reason why coffee in Panama last year are very crazy. Yeah. They score high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what happened to Esmeralda, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy scores. Well, so, we're talking obviously about what's happening right now and in the year ahead. But if we zoom backwards, you moved from the Philippines to Dubai, right? And we're getting really into coffee here in Dubai.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of specialty coffee professionals here who have migrated in and they're expats from somewhere else.
Yeah.
What have you found some of the biggest challenges in kind of forging a career here in that? And what do you think some of the opportunities are?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, but I think the challenge is to first prove yourself that you're worth this market, right? If you actually add value to this market, right?
Okay.
Because when I'm from the Philippines, when I arrived here, you don't have a name and you're just basically trying to do something that can push you up there, right? And that's the challenging part because there's always that guy is Filipino, Asian guy, here. So there's that sort of thing that it is challenging. But then when you sort of prove yourself and then the people will start believing in you, and when you become successful, success magnets another success, right? So it becomes easier. And then the opportunity comes. And there's a lot of opportunity here. And I guess it's because it's the market here. First thing first, they're willing to pay money for good coffee. Yeah. Like if you see the prices of the in the coffee shops, it is maybe 2 times in Australia, I guess.
At least.
At least, right? And so because of that, we can bring the best of the best here. And then if you bring the best of the best, you sort of elevate the market more. And then you compete to the world level of competition, the global, the F1.
Do you think, though, it's interesting you kind of place it that way? My observation, and correct me if I'm completely wrong here, but coming to Dubai, it's like it feels like people really love the higher end of things, whether it be the fashion or the cars. There's that love of that luxury. When it applies into coffee, do you think sometimes it's just that want for the exclusivity and the best of the best? Or do you think it is that chase for the substance of the coffees that are being brewed?
There's, yes, that exclusivity part of they say the price is very high and they question themselves like, why this is too expensive? Let me try this, right? And there's a lot of them. But then in reality, business-wise, I will not do those crazy. I will not bring all those crazy expensive auction coffees, best of Panama coffees. I will not bring them here if I don't have a support for a sustainable business. Means like sustainable pricing coffees that we sell to the coffee shop. I think we have a good baseline on that. We are serving not normal good coffees, 85, 86 grade. Yeah. And then that's very sustainable to supply to a lot of cafes, and that brings cash flow. And then we managed to put some of the money to bring the best of the best coffees. Yeah. And then good thing that there's also a market for it. And I think also the way we market ourselves as a brand, Archers, that's very important. Branding and how you let other people perceive your brand, right? If you think of, okay, I want the best coffee here in the UAE, at least you will be on that list of, okay, those guys have the best coffee. So, yeah, that's...
It definitely is, as we've come to Dubai, like your name and Archers is one of the ones that keeps coming up.
Iconic.
Yeah, now, just quickly jumping back, I'm not sure if we touched on this. So you moved to Dubai. Can I ask, what was it specifically about Dubai that made you want to come here compared to somewhere else?
Oh yeah. So I started with working in restaurants and hotels in the Philippines, and then I decided to move to Singapore to work in Singapore, and I really like Singapore, but the life is too fast, and it's just working, go home, sleep, work the next day, and I was looking for a place that is similar to Singapore as a safety, stable economy, and that opportunity. So my wife actually came to Dubai first, and I just followed my wife and settled down here. And
Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick word from one of our sponsors, Apax Lab. Elevate your coffee experience with Apax Lab mineral concentrates. Apax Lab's precision-engineered formulas, including tonic, jam, and lilac, are designed to enhance the coffee's natural flavors. Not going to change it, it's just going to enhance it. It's going to bring out the vibrant acidity, the rich sweetness, or if you use lilac, it might bring out those delicate floral notes that you've been looking for. Trusted by world-class cafes and even barista champions, Apax Lab helps you unlock your coffee's full potential. Discover more at apaxlab.com. Wait, where was that again, Sonam?
The internet.
Oh, okay. Thought I was going to say the website. Thanks.
We put so much effort into our espresso, dosing, distributing, tamping, weighing. But then in so many cases, a cafe will just take whatever milk they happen to have available and throw it in and call it a day.
I know, and milk actually makes up 70% of all coffees ordered. So you could argue that great milk is just as important as great coffee.
Definitely could argue that.
Oh, I couldn't, I did.
Our great sponsors of the podcast, Riverina Fresh, have a milk that is made for coffee specifically, and it's used by some of the best cafes around the country and, in fact, World Barista Champion.
Yeah, this gold range that they actually have here was designed alongside a World Barista Champion to be richer and more indulgent to pair perfectly with coffee.
If you want to check it out, they are doing a sweet deal for Australian-based cafes, and you can get a free trial.
That's exactly right. You can get a free trial straight to your door. Just head to riverinafresh.com.au and see if your cafe is eligible. And why wouldn't you? Serve up the same milk as World Barista Champions.
And so you worked at a number of specialty places while you kind of worked through your career. And then Archer's now is you import green coffee, you roast, but you also do a lot of education.
yes, yeah.
How important has it been for you to have a foot in the door in all of those different parts of the supply chain?
What is happening is that when I arrived here, the specialty coffee scene has started, and then I was visiting places where I want to learn coffee, but then it's not available during those years. And so then I start working with coffee places. I start work with specialty batch coffee. It's a roastery, and we are doing that time. That's like 2013 and 14. We're doing SAA courses.
Yeah.
Back in the days. Yeah, but then I've seen like a loopholes in the market where I wanted to learn sensory, I wanted to learn roasting, I wanted to learn processing, but it's not available here in the UAE. And so in the very early days of the coffee scene here, the education is very, very hard. And so I said to myself that if I want to open my own one day, I will open with an academy, because I believe that's the only way for us to move forward and to become sustainable in our market. And so, but since I'm not that type of guy who actually teach like you, I met with a couple of friends that sort of speak and understand the market in the UAE, and I approach them and tell them, hey, I wanted to open Archers. You handle the education, so that's Dave Peralta. And then I met another guy called Kimal in the early days, and he's handling roasting, and I'm doing the operations and the buying, and we open Archers together.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good team.
Yeah.
When you're selling the coffee to the consumers and that, what are some of the challenging conversations that you have to have about them, and how do you approach having that conversation?
B2B businesses, discounts. I want discounts. I want
discounts.
Coffee
That's
prices
a global challenging conversation.
Okay.
Everyone's like
UAE.
discounts.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, but then one tricky part is that a lot of business owners actually don't know the other side of the value chain, right? The buying side. They don't know the C market. They don't know the price of the coffees and cherries in Africa or Central and South America increases. So they don't really know those parts. They know they are in consuming country and then they have a coffee shop and they understand the business of the coffee shop.
Yep.
And so when the prices go up there, we cannot even push it here, and the price go up there, they will still ask even discount here, right? So that's a challenging part, right?
But what about the flavors? Is in terms of people tasting the coffees and having, do you have to do much education on the flavors of what people experience, or is the style of what you're providing pretty widely accepted now?
At the start, we are very much on the light roasting part. But then I guess the market is too young, right? And what we feed them is what they will learn and understand. So we feed them with the good stuff, and they will maybe somehow get used to it. And then, and then at least they will.
Very
How
accepting.
good. I want these customers.
Yeah.
They sound amazing. Send them out. That's great. They're just, you're
look-
taking them on the journey. That's amazing.
Luckily, because the country is too small, right? And so we can manage to,
Hey guys, sorry to be interrupting. It's Ollie from Condesa, and it is Wednesday, the 28th of Jan. Hope you are enjoying the World of Coffee series. Today, C market is at 367.25, and we've come off the highs of last year, but we're trading in a new sideways band, 330 at the lower support level, and a resistance level of 374, perhaps 381 on the very higher side. Predictably, it has been the Trump administration's unpredictable approach to geopolitics that has had the most significant impact on the market. An invasion of Venezuela and a change of leadership, threat of invasion towards Iran, Colombia and Greenland since I last gave this analysis, as well as a friction between Federal Reserve and POTUS on the independence of the Fed position. All of this has been causing a lack of confidence in the US dollar. On top of which, we've seen a sell-off, planned one, of US bonds by Japan, but this has caused the US dollar to drop further than was initially anticipated. Therefore, the money has flowed into commodities and C market as part of that. ICE stock levels remain low, 441,000 bags, with only 41,000 bags pending to be graded, which also adds to upward pressure. On a more bearish influence, we are seeing crop production has been revised higher for 2026, and it is actually showing a balanced crop for this year and a surplus for 2027. The weather is promising across all the coffee belt, and divs are low for Q1, Q2, and are starting to soften in Q3. The true test will be when we wake tomorrow morning to see what the Fed have done to interest rates, and if they do remain at the same level as we anticipate, we could see the market shift back towards 347. That's it from me. All the best, and it's just coffee.
Now, it's, custom on this show that towards the end, we like to do a little spicy take, a little hot take. We don't have our board here with our sound effects machine, but we can just do it ourselves a little bit. It's a hot take with two sugars.
I'm not singing along.
Now, Fred, do you have a little a hot take for us, a little comment on the industry?
Oh yeah, this is very spicy. Are you ready for that?
Spicy. Yes. Nice.
Okay. My hot take is consistency in coffee is actually bullshit.
Oh,
What?
And the reason why I said that is because if I bring you guys in the farm, the trees are not consistent. Right?
Right.
Trees produce different cherries, small and big.
Yep.
One cherry has better nutrients, one cherry has less nutrients. And when you ferment them, you cannot actually control the microbes that is grown, right? You cannot control the climate. There's a lot of things that you cannot control. And then when we are here in a consuming market, right, it's hard to control the water in the espresso machine.
Yep.
What minerals is in there, right? So there's always that inconsistency all throughout, no matter what. The challenge is everyone, if you're a roaster or you're a barista, the consumers or the customers will tell you, I don't like you because you're not consistent.
Oh,
Yeah, right? But it doesn't make sense because there's no consistency at all. It's hard.
That's a fair call.
I was disagreeing strongly at the start, but I think you landed the plane because
reversed.
we can all definitely agree that coffee is something that is about the experience. It is going to change with every cup and every time. And customers are sometimes like, I want it to taste exactly the same. And
no
that's
way.
not what coffee is.
Exactly.
I definitely think there's levels of consistency of things that we can control and should and put in that, that regimented kind of process. But there are so many elements that are out of our control, and that's what makes coffee beautiful.
The final sensory experience will change.
Yeah,
Cup to
we
cup a
human
little
are
bit.
inconsistent. Our senses is inconsistent. Right?
That's
So
true.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Can
you
you
so
tell
much,
us where
guys.
people can find you?
we are based actually in Sharjah. We are not in Dubai. Sharjah is just 30 minutes drive from the downtown.
Yep.
And you can find Archers in Industrial 18. And we also have a cafe called Benchmark Coffee. It's just 15 minutes drive. It's also based in Sharjah. And the place called Al Jadda. It's they call it New Sharjah. So if you're free, please feel free to pass by.
And for our listeners that are elsewhere, where can they find you on the socials?
Frederick Bejo and Archer's Coffee and Benchmark Coffee. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
listening in. And to everyone listening, you can always reach out to us at hello@itsjustcoffeepod.com or find us at the socials, It's Just Coffee Podcast. And it was funny, when we first landed in Dubai, Ben leaned over and he whispered in my ear a little something, something. What did you tell me when we first landed, Ben?
I just want to teach a Q course at Archers. No,
That's what he wanted to say. We'll see you next
Let's do
time,
it,
guys.
man. Let's do
Thank
it.
you
All
so
right,
much.
done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you so much.
Today's episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsors at Eco Barista. The reason I sound like this is because they got massages at our stand at Mice, and so I'm getting a massage while recording this message for you. They're the best sponsor of the pod that we could have had. They have the best eco products. This probably sounds really pornographic, but it's not. I'm just getting a massage. They have the best eco-friendly coffee products. They got coffee bags that you can design yourself. They got cups. They got iced coffee cups. They got everything you need. So make sure to support them because they support us. Head to ecobarista.com.au and get 15% off your first purchase when you sign up. Oh, mama, that's good.